Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'aventure? Ah, monsieur le président, un pauvre qui vote ou celui qui l'a rendu pauvre. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'étranger? Ah, monsieur le président, à l'Assemblée, il y a un Dieu. Vraiment. Au Sénat, il y a un Dieu. Wonderful. À la présidence, il y a un Dieu. Dans tout le gouvernement, il n'y a que des vieux, des vieux, des vieux, des vieux.
Hi. Good day, the beautiful people of the Cameroons. Good day, the beautiful people of British Cameroons. And the beautiful people of La République du Cameroon. Today, I've come to talk about why the Cameroons urgently need a government. Why the Cameroons urgently need a government. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndive Lee Singer. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the topic of this party political broadcast might seem controversial. Some people might say we have a government in the Cameroons. You might have a government, but they are not in power. And again, a government has certain functions. And where the government cannot carry out or exercise that function, it means there is no government. Why the Cameroons urgently need a government? Ladies and gentlemen, if you look, the UK government said there is a risk of armed robbery throughout the Cameroons. The UK government officially, they say the Cameroons is not safe. The US State Department report said Cameroon is not safe. Violent crime is in Cameroon, like armed robbery, kidnapping, civil unrest, health risk, limited emergency service. It is the US State Department saying, not me. And if you look at what the UK government is saying and the US State Department report, it means there is no government. Because who are supposed to make a country to be safe? It is the government. And once as you're unable to carry out this function, it means there is no government. The government of the Cameroons is just existing like a paper window dressing exercise with ministers and government officials playing to the gallery. The European Union says Cameroon is official, it's not safe. Health risk, terrorism, humanitarian crisis. Who is supposed to solve this problem? The government, because there is no government. Transparency International ranked Cameroon number 140 out of 180 countries in corruption perception index. Why? Because there is no government. Who is supposed to fight corruption? A government. Ladies and gentlemen, there are general functions and duty of a government. The number one function in all the whole world, the government, the first task of the government is the safety of the people. The government have to maintain law and order, have to enforce laws, assist the people economically and socially with taxpayers' money. It's not their money. So, ladies and gentlemen, I understand some regime apologists. They will come and say, oh, the UK too have got crime. Oh, US, United States have got crimes, and European Union countries, there are criminals there. That is not the case. You have to look at the rate. We are not saying there's not criminality in any country on earth. But if you commit crime in the United Kingdom, you will be punished. The police, they will make sure they track you down. It doesn't matter whether it takes 50 years. They will track you down. Same in the United States, same in most European countries. But in the Cameroons, people kill people and the government protect them. Governments in the Cameroon kill people. Government in the Cameroon steal people's money. To me, instead of people wasting time and say we want election, you're wasting your time. People need services as I speak. The crime rate, corruption rate in the Cameroons is so high as I speak. We have 14th century hospitals in the Cameroon as I speak. That's why Laurent Eso and the rest, they come to the Western country. As I speak, Laurent Eso have been repatriated, is receiving treatment in Europe. The people who are supposed to govern the country and construct modern hospitals, they come abroad for treatment. It tells you, we have civil servant politicians. Civil servants, they are supposed to be impartial. They are supposed to support the government policies. Impartial. They are not politicians. But we have civil servants who are politicians. Civil servants graduate from ENAM. They become politicians. Unelected governor, unelected SDOs, unelected DOs. Even Mr. Bia was a civil servant. Maurice Kamto lecturing in the university, civil servant. We want politicians to run the country, not civil servants. Aijo was a civil servant. We have to distinguish between civil servant and politicians. Because civil servants, they are there to assist the government. It saddens me that why our people, they need a government that governs. People are talking about elections. We have been having this election since 1992. What happens? Mr. Bia always have 70% or above, with the exception of 1992. Mr. Bia always have 70%, 80%. So what are we calling for election? We need a government urgently in the Cameroons. They don't carry any function because there is a purpose for each function that a government have. A government have to analyze things. They have to support well-informed information and decision making. You have commercial and grants in all government on planet Earth. But we understand the one in the Cameroons is so corrupt. A government is supposed to plan and manage procurement and grant making. But we understand in the government, the same people give things to their family, nepotism. They don't do anything. A government is supposed to counter fraud. A government have to effectively manage counter fraud, bribery and corruption. But who are the people taking this bribe, promoting this bribe? Government officials. That is why the Cameroons urgently need a government. A government is supposed to manage its debt, minimize losses. But the government in the Cameroon, we understand corruption, bribing and corruption, embezzlement, that's what is going. The Cameroons urgently need a government. Finances, they have to ensure and manage the finances of the government effectively. But today, they don't. And France is partly managing the finances and economic of that country. Internal audit, they audit themselves. They are the footballer, they are the referee. They need legal advisor to help them how to carry out their job. Their legal advisor is their friends, they themselves. They are everything. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, instead of people be saying we need election, we need a government in the Cameroons. There is no government. There is a failed state in the Cameroons. If you look at the Cameroons and the characteristics of failed state, you cannot control part of your territory. People make decisions, arguing separate decisions. They don't stand as a government, as a cabinet and make decisions. You hear Ngongo will come and say something, Atanganji will say his own, Grégoire Owona will say, Ayolo will say his own, Minister of Communication will say his own. They don't act as a government. It is a failed state. That is why the Cameroons urgently need a government, not an election. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very important that the government should I call them government in quotes because they are not a government. I call them they are non-functional government. They are non-functional because government have function. And once you don't carry out that function, you're no longer a government. A policeman, the job of a policeman is to fight crime. Once a policeman is a criminal, is not fighting crime, you're just a police in name. So that's how the government of the Cameroons is. Ladies and gentlemen, election upon election will give you no government. We don't have government. And why I'm concerned, because other than British Cameroon National Party, we don't see any opposition in the Cameroons that is ready to take the place of chop people their money ruling party. We don't see it because they don't talk about any policy. You ask them where do they stand on France, CFA, CEMAC, Anglophone problem, they don't say anything. They don't say anything. So don't trust even the non-functional opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, there's only one political party that can bring change in the Cameroon, and that's British Cameroon National Party. Ladies and gentlemen, once more, have a great day. This has been a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndive Lisinge. Have a wonderful day.
Devenir des esclaves,